Welcome back, everybody. Let's make chicken and sausage gumbo. 1/3 cup vegetable oil to a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour is how we're going to start this off. We're going to make our roux first, and what we want to do is cook this on low heat, constantly stirring for about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the color that you prefer. But for our roux, this is going to be the base of our gumbo, and we really want to develop a dark brown color. We don't want to rush this process too much and risk burning the roux. So just take your time and it'll be worth it, I promise. We're already starting to develop some beautiful coloration in this roux. The consistency is where I like to see it. And again, this is still on a low heat. If you feel more confident with developing this roux faster, you can turn it up a bit and shave off 10-15 minutes. But you don't want to go too far and risk burning this dish. It's just not worth it. All right, this is looking about done to me. So I'm going to pull this off to the side, put our roux in a separate cup, use the same pan and go in with 1 pound of diced chicken breast. You can use whatever you prefer here. Some people like to use chicken thighs. I'm using chicken breast for this recipe. Our goal here is we want to brown the chicken, but not cook it all the way through. And more importantly, we want to develop fond at the bottom of our pan that we're going to eventually deglaze with our onions, celery, bell pepper. And now fond, again, just to refresh your memory, is the cooked bits at the bottom of the pan that are left over when you pull your meat out. And so you'll see some browning at the bottom of the pan. That's all full of flavor, and we don't want to waste that. So I'm just going to put our chicken off to the side and then go in with our sausage. I do about 12 ounces. And again, we just want to brown here, not cook all the way through, but get some more fond at the bottom of the pan, develop some flavor, and then we'll pull this out and put it off to the side as well. So we're almost done here. You can see some are a little more brown than others, but just want to do a constant stir to try to get as even as you can on the browning. And then we're going to, again, take this out, put it off to the side, and go in with our onions. And we want to do this relatively quick because we don't want all that delicious fond at the bottom of the pan to overheat or burn. So let's get in our Holy Trinity as fast as possible. I'm going in with a red bell pepper this time. Traditional recipe usually calls for a green bell pepper, but I had a red one and I actually like the sweetness that it brings to the dish. So just stir this around and you'll see that the fond at the bottom of the pan is going to start to come up and it'll deglaze with the liquids coming from our Holy Trinity here. And so this is just developing flavor in our dish that we don't want to miss out on. So it's worth taking that extra step. I'm going to go in with our 3 to 4 garlic cloves. And we just want to cook this for a minute or two until they're aromatic before we put our roux back into the mixture. And so we just want to stir this around, get it fully incorporated into our dish before we go in with our chicken stock. And so we're just going to kind of sweat this off, stir it around. It's going to look very thick. But trust the process, keep going. So now we're going in with our 3 cups of chicken broth, and we just want to stir this up, and you'll see all of the thickness of our Holy Trinity start to dissolve into what is turning into our gumbo. Next, we want to add seasonings. Very simple. I add some cayenne, some garlic, onion, Cajun seasoning. You can do basil, some thyme, a little bit of salt, and just mix this up. Some people, if they like a little more spice, can add a little bit more of the cayenne or chilies. I add a little bit of spice because we do like that. Now we're going to add back our chicken that we had off to the side, and then we'll go in with our sausage next. And then at this point, we're going to stir this up, and we're going to start our simmer process, which can take, anywhere. You can eat anywhere from an hour to 2 hours in. The longer that you develop these flavors and simmer it on low, the better the flavor will become. So I'm just going to do a series of stirrings, every 10 minutes or so. Just check on it, Stir it around, make sure nothing's burning at the bottom, and that we're developing the flavor of the dish. It's starting to look and smell amazing. And about after an hour of simmering, I'm gonna add our gumbo filé. And this really will add a very delicate flavor and will thicken it up a little bit as well. And so depending on when you prefer to add it, I just like it after about an hour or so of simmering, and then let it go for about another half an hour to an hour, and we'll be done. And this is just further developing. You can tell it's thickened up a little bit. I want to get rid of these bay leaves now that we added in right before the simmering process started, and we're done. We are ready to eat. We've prepared some rice on the side that we're gonna add with this dish. I think this is a wonderful way to serve it. And we usually just go right into the center and pour the gumbo right on top. And that rice is a perfect canvas to just soak up all the flavors from the gumbo. This is such a delicious dish. If you've never tried it, I really hope that you give it a shot and make it an experiment, you know, something that you just want to test out. Trust the process along the way. I promise you this will turn out absolutely amazing. And thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Keep cooking.